What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are going to be diving into our defensive game plan against the Minnesota Vikings for our Week 9 matchup already. This is the Lions midseason matchup, so let's get it started. Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. And yes, we are going to be talking about a must-win game for the Detroit Lions and how this defense can slow down this Vikings offense that just beat the Green Bay Packers on the road. Now, I know the road's not the same, but still, they still went out and got the win. Now, this is actually not the original clip here, okay? This is me doing it again. I accidentally deleted the first part of this video. The second part is the film. We'll get to that, but I deleted the first part. So, hi, we're back at it. You guys didn't know that, but I know that. That's why it's nothing on the board. I already erased it. But let's talk about this Vikings offense, okay? In this segment, we're going to talk about the stats. We're going to go through the basic stuff, just a couple of things on paper to look for. And then we're going to fly over to the film study of this team. Okay, so let's take a look at the stats first. I will throw them on the screen as we go through them. So here we go. Let's start off with that scoring offense. They're averaging 26.1 points per game so far on the season, which is about average, 14th in the league. Their passer rating is only 23rd in the league at 91.9. A big reason for that is 10 interceptions. Yes, they have 12 touchdowns passing, but they have 10 interceptions passing, and that's a big reason that the passer rating is so low. They are, however, first in yards per completion and in yards per attempt. That's pretty impressive. Now, a lot of that can be a little skewed because, you know, when they're trailing, they're taking a lot of shots. But as you can see, still high yards per attempt and yards per completion. And like I said, 12 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. When it comes to rushing the football, this is where they are impressive. They're averaging 5 yards per carry so far this season, and they're averaging 144 rushing yards per game without having the most attempts in the NFL. Like, they have a lot of attempts, but not that many. It's impressive. They're 6th in both of those categories. One place where they struggle a little bit is converting on third downs. Now, this is an important stat, so keep this in mind as we go through it. 39.1% on third downs, okay? That's 27th in the league. However, they are doing well in the red zone, 4th in the league at 77.3%. Now, I want to go touch back on that third down conversion rate. Why is that such an important stat? Well, if you watched the Minnesota Vikings last week against the Packers, they had a specific game plan. And this is a game plan that looked a little bit different from some of their previous games so far this year. And we'll dive more into it in this film. But their game plan was this. Play through Dalvin Cook, who is returning from injury. Cousins, facilitate. Don't beat us. Facilitate. Don't turn the ball over. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to play hero ball. Just do enough, and we'll play through Dalvin Cook. Now, the reason, one, this works so well is because the Packers' run defense is not very good. It's not a very good run D, and everybody kind of knows that. Like, that's their weakness as a team. And the Lions do that when we faced them. The reason we couldn't go to that is because we made so many dumb mistakes and got ourselves in a position where we were down by 10 in the second half where we couldn't stick to our run game. The Lions were up by 4 heading into half. But then all of a sudden we get a holding, which stops the clock. The Packers get it. They go down the field and score a touchdown before half. Then out of half, the first play, they break it for a touchdown. We're down 10 just like that. And all of a sudden, the script was flipped. And now we can't play to the strategy of rushing the football and playing off of that. We got out of it. However, the Vikings, they didn't. The Vikings were down 7-14, but they stuck with the game plan. They stuck with it. They kept rushing the football, and they dominated in the trenches. Now, not only did they dominate in the trenches, but Dalvin Cook was great. And Dalvin Cook is great when healthy. That's been the biggest problem. And he's going to be healthy Sunday. Dalvin Cook is great. Over 100 of his yards in that game were after contact. So I think that kind of tells you how great he was. He was making guys miss in his second and third level. The Packers missed 11 tackles in this game. And we already know they don't have a great run defense. That is a recipe for disaster. And honestly, on paper, it's not that big of a surprise that they pulled this upset off against the Green Bay Packers, looking at what the Vikings do well and what the Packers don't do well. So, how can the Lions slow down this Vikings offense that just beat the Green Bay Packers? Well, it's simple. You got to stop the run. Just like every team we play, you have to stop the run. We'll dive into it more in the film. But the thing with the Packers, they don't do that very well. The Lions, however, in really the last 3 weeks, really since the Cardinals game, have been much better at stopping the run. But in the last 3 weeks in particular, they have been one of the best teams in the league at stopping the run. Maybe the best statistically. 2 games in a row, less than 3 yards per carry, and last week against the Colts, just over 3 yards per carry. They have been dominant at stopping the run. Big reason for that, John Pennicini. Him and Danny Shelton in the interior have been great. Also, very aggressive play, and our secondary players are making tackles. So they're helping on the boundaries. The Lions are shutting down the run. It's helping their pass coverage, and overall, it's making their defense much better. That's why it looks so much different than in the first couple weeks where we're saying this defense can't stop anybody. All of a sudden, we're saying the offense is letting us down. As crazy as that may sound, but it's the truth right now. Defensively, we've improved, and we're stopping the run. The third down percentage is super important here, because while that third down percentage is bad, they converted a lot of their third downs against the Packers. They converted 4 of their first 5 third downs, plus the one they didn't convert, they actually got it on a 4th down the very next play. So what I'm seeing from that is that they were able to keep drives alive, sustain drives, own time possession. Mike Zimmer said it himself. We are a team that's built to own time possession, score in the red zone, and be efficient on third downs. He said that, right? He said it a little while ago, but he said that. And that's what happened against the Packers. They did all 3 of those things. They owned time possession, they converted on third downs, and they converted in the red zone. And at that time, look, the Packers were out of the game. And it wasn't some kind of crazy strategy. Let's have Dalvin Cook. Let's play through Dalvin Cook. As crazy as it may sound, that's what they did. And Cook was incredible. They played through Dalvin Cook, who was creating holes on the offensive line, but they played through him. They set up the play action. They converted on third downs. The threat of rushing the football is such a big effect on teams when you play the Vikings. I mean, it's such a big effect. And it sets up so many open play action situations. And what the Packers really struggle with is that since they couldn't stop the run with their front 7, really, they had to bring extra bodies. So they were playing aggressive. They were blitzing to stop the run. Well, when the Vikings went to play action, they were able to expose that. They were able to expose it because guess what? You're out of position. You're out of position if you're selling out to stop the run and you can't do it. That was the problem for the Packers in this game. Now, so far this year, Vikings have played some teams that are solid against stopping the run, some teams that aren't. And yes, you can see pretty much as a trend, when they face a team that stops the run, they're not as good. They're not as good because they're not a great team when it comes to traditionally passing the football and making Kirk Cousins win the game. Their strategy against the Packers was to set up the run and play through that, right? Let Kirk Cousins play through Dalvin Cook's ability to rush the football. Madison really didn't do anything. So in this game, a guy that was averaging the most yards per attempt and yards per completion, we talked about that once you remember these numbers, because Kirk Cousins' average passing air yard attempt, I know it's kind of a long thing to say there, was 1.79. 1.7. I'm not making 1.79. They're literally all dump offs. I can show you the chart on the screen. Those were all of his passes. Nothing past 10 yards. He's been a little inconsistent with his shots downfield. And this made it so we can't lose because of him, and we can play to our strengths. So what happens if you take them out of that? What happens if you take them out of their comfort zone? You force them to pass. We've seen the results. They lose those games. That's what it's all about in this game. And I'm going to show you in the film. It's not super complex either. What was the key point in our last game against the Indianapolis Colts? Forced turnovers. He's throwing 1 pick a game on average. We weren't able to do it. Now you're facing the Minnesota Vikings. We lost that turnover battle, okay? Turnover battle is super important because guess what? We're underdogs. We're 4-point underdogs in this game. I know, 4-point underdogs. Especially without Stafford, we're going to have to force the turnovers if he can't play. This is another opportunity to get some turnovers. 10 interceptions going into 6 games. He didn't have one last game because, again, they just took it out of his hands. How do you get those? You have to shut down the run game. Well, you have to be smart about it. Because if you sell out to stop the run, all of a sudden, that's going to play to their advantage. So turnovers are huge. Plus, what about the former Vikings? J-Ron Curse. Everson Griffin, baby. The dude is hype on Twitter, on social media. He's telling people that's funny. Like, oh, you think I'm not going to get those stats? That's good. That's funny. I'm laughing. Forced to be one-dimensional, there's turnovers. Because the Packers, they weren't. Because a lot of their third downs are third and short. And you just have to respect the run game. If you shut down the run, which not many teams have really shut it down, but if you can, you will beat this team going away because Kirk Cousins won't beat you by just passing. I don't see it. They have some solid weapons. They have some good tight ends. They have 2 really good wide receivers, young Justin Jefferson and also Adam Thielen. But the fact is he won't beat you alone. They have to be able to play off the run. And that's what their game plan was last week. Now, what I have noticed against teams like the Colts who are good against stopping the run, they came out and started to pass the ball. It just wasn't as successful. They came out trying to pass and play to that scheme, but it didn't work as well. Plus, Kirk threw 3 interceptions. And when you do that, you're going to lose the game. They got behind. All of a sudden, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass. Game over. That's why they lost 28-11. So that's simply the Lions' strategy. Now we'll get into the film side of how to do it. But it's a pretty simple strategy. Shut down the run, make them one-dimensional, and you can beat this team. All right? Don't give them easy third downs. All of a sudden, this is a team that you can beat. And this can be a statement game. This defense could look great in this game. And boy, oh boy, we get to see Everson Griffin. Plus, they may have to if Stafford can't go. Hopefully Stafford can play. I'm just not trying to bring it up because I'm just really hoping. All right, now let's get into the film side of things. I'll see you guys over there. So here we are on the film side of things. Now we're going to try to do this one a little bit quicker than usual because I feel like this side usually goes very, very long. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think this offense is super complex. I mean, yes, they do their little things like every offense does, but I don't think it's super complex from our standpoint. You see what I did there? I've been watching too many Patricia interviews. But I don't think it's super complex. I mean, I think they have a simple way to win football games. And if you take that away, you could beat this team. The problem is it's not easy to just take it away. And I think the game plan or the blueprint that they rolled out against the Green Bay Packers is something that we're probably going to see as their season goes on. But I also have noticed when they've played teams that have a better run defense, they seem to actually try to start off with the passing attack to potentially try to open up the run, which honestly is the way to go. But for them, it just really isn't working, okay? They really have to be able to run the football or it just doesn't work. And when you can see that versus all the teams that they played so far this season, because when they go to pass heavy, you get turnovers. They're not as effective. They can't be one-dimensional. They have to be a team that can rush the football. And they do it really well. Against every team, they've pretty much ran pretty well. And now that Dalvin Cook is back and what you saw him do against the Green Bay Packers, it's a big reason to be concerned with what the Lions can do against this Vikings offense. But I'm also going to tell you, there's a reason to be optimistic that the Lions will play better defensively than the Packers did. I know it sounds crazy, but seriously, the Lions defense, I think, is built way better to stop this Vikings team than the Packers are built. Like I said before, the Packers are built to play with the lead. They have pass rushers. They don't have big run stuffers in the inside. That's not what they're known for. They're not known to shut down the run game. They get the lead, and they got pass rushers, and they get to the quarterback, and you don't want to play from behind against this team. Now, when you're talking about the Lions, they are built, from what we've seen recently, to stop the run. And offensively, they're trying to be a run-first team. That may change, and we'll get into that. But for the defense side of the ball, they've been really good recently at stopping the rushing game. I mean, they've been very good at it. Really, since the Cardinals game, they have been much improved at stopping the rushing attack from opponents. And it's caused their passing defense to look much better. It's helped out everywhere defensively. They're getting more pressure, and that's going to be the key to slowing down this Vikings offense. Take away the run game. Now, it definitely is going to be easier than it sounds because this isn't the same kind of matchup as every other team, right? This is a tough team to stop the run because they're good at it. They have good blockers. They have a great running back. He's paid a lot of money for a reason. They get their fullback involved. The play action of it, which works really well for Kirk Cousins, and that seems to be where he's comfortable. But the offense isn't play through Kirk Cousins and will win games. It's now play through Dalvin Cook and have Kirk Cousins be that game manager. The problem is if you make it so where now Kirk Cousins has to win the game and you make it so you have to beat us, you can't beat us with the rushing attack, that's where problems start to happen. That's where you see 10 interceptions for Kirk Cousins. So we're going to dive into the film here. And this is just from the Packers game. Just the Packers game alone. I just want to show you some clips of how well they ran the ball. All right, and you're going to notice a couple of things when you see how successful they are rushing the football. One, everybody blocks well. Their tight ends, the receivers, they all block well. They get fullbacks involved, they block well. You're not going to see a lot of blocks shed. Okay, you're not going to see a lot of these players getting off of blocks. You're going to see some good holes, but you're all going to see great vision from Dalvin Cook. He hits the hole quick, and he makes big plays. He makes plays in the second and third level, making guys miss, and he just makes so many plays after contact. I mean, Dalvin Cook is a different animal in the backfield. He's played a lot of money, but it's the injuries that have held him back. But if he's healthy, which he is right now, that's a problem. That's a problem because he's just tough to stop for a lot of teams. And like I said, the Packers aren't built to stop the run. So this on paper is an awful matchup for the Packers, and that's how it turned out in real life. So I just want to show you a couple clips here of just diving through holes, making some big plays in the run game, because honestly, that's how they won this football game, right? They came out with the mindset to run the ball. They never got out of it, even when they were down 7, and they dominated. You're going to see guys missing tackles, 11 missed tackles as a team. That's not good. You can't have that. Over 100 yards after contact for Dalvin Cook in this game. And he dominated on the run game. And that opened up a lot of things. So when you have teams like the Packers who struggle to stop the run, they have to adjust. Because if the Vikings are going to continue to pound it, you can't just sit there and let them do that. You have to adjust. So how do teams that struggle to stop the run adjust? Maybe they don't have those big bodies. They start to bring pressure. They bring pressure to stop the run. Now, the Lions have done their mix of that. But right now, I think the Lions did a way better stop the run game without having to bring the blitz to stop the run. I think it was a good wake-up call. But now that John Pennicini is more involved, him and Danny Schoen in the inside, that duo, those big guys, are doing a really good job at shutting down the inside run. Against the Colts went a different way against the Lions. They weren't really worried about rushing the ball inside. They were trying to get everything to the outside. We have these big 260-plus pound linebackers that are in there as run stuffers. So they were trying to get things to the outside, and it still wasn't that successful because what we have on the outside are cornerbacks who shed blocks and make tackles, and we'll see some clips of that. The Lions have guys that tackle. They are built to stuff the run, to stop the run. That's how Patricia wants his defense. On paper, this is a game where the Lions can make a statement. This is a statement game for this defense because they can look really, really good in this game if they can stop the run first. Here's a goal line. You know what's coming here, right? They set the motion. It's a run play, and you can see just no one's shedding blocks. They pick up the block with the fullback. He doesn't get touched, and he gets into the end zone. Dominating on the ground, and it opens everything up for this offense for the Minnesota Vikings. Here's another one, right? They pull their tight end this time. You can see he's not even touched. And he's gone. He's just gone. He finds the hole. He reads it quickly. He's quick through it. He's got the explosiveness. And, you know, he's a really good running back behind a good offensive line. Now, here's what they do out of that. They set up the play action. Now, last week was different than previous weeks because they got it going really early against a team that's not great at stopping the run. But they also limited Kirk Cousins. It was take what's there. Take the easy route. Take the dump off. And since the Packers struggled to stop the run, they were then blitzing and bringing extra pressure to stop the run, to try to fill those gaps quicker off the snap. And that played right into the Vikings' favor because the Vikings then would hit you with play action. And if you hit them with the play action bootleg, and you're not able to get untouched, unblocked players to the quarterback, you're going to have things open. You're going to have quick passes open. You're going to have a couple of short gains that maybe break out for longer gains. And that's what they had for the Minnesota Vikings here. That's what was opened up. Now, the Vikings offensive line is pretty darn good. They do a good job of not letting you get by, right? You don't really beat them off the offensive line. I mean, the Colts had a little bit of success because they have a great front four. But for the most part, not many teams are beating them one-on-one. Not right off the snap. You're usually getting unblocked guys to mess up the pass. But they usually do a good job picking up. Here you can see they bring 5, right? They have 5 rushers brought for the Green Bay Packers here. And you can see it's all picked up, and they do a great job. It sets up a play action. Kirk Cousins has time, right? He has to turn his back, but he has time, and he takes the little dump off right here, and it goes for a solid gain. And that's what it was. It was take these dump shots. Like I said, 1.79 air yards for Kirk Cousins in this game. It wasn't about taking shots. It was just facilitate. Don't lose us the game. Don't throw turnovers. We're not asking you to do too much. We'll play through our running backs, Madison, mainly Dalvin Cook. Madison didn't do much. We'll play through our running backs and Dalvin Cook, and you just do enough. I mean, heck, there were certain times where it was like 3rd and 9. It was 3rd and 9 at the end of the game. And instead of throwing the ball potentially put away, they ran the ball knowing that they would give the Packers back the ball. They ran the football on 3rd because they were just not trusting. They would rather trust in the running back, which honestly isn't a bad decision. And Kirk's not a bad quarterback. He's just not necessarily a guy that I don't think, at least in their offense right now, that they can play through to win a lot of games. I think that's what we saw, and especially against the Packers, there's no reason to do it. You might as well play through the run when they struggle to stop it. So there you go. You hit him with the play action, and you can see they set an edge defender here, but this play action, because you have that running back, you have to be disciplined to watch for a cutback. So if he gets the handoff, you never will. It can happen. Don't even wait. Your best bet, if you want to get pressure, is to go straight for the quarterback. Just go right for the quarterback. But that does ask a lot if the running back's able to hit that cutback lane. So it's a tough task when they're running the ball well. If they're not rushing the ball well, there's less of a threat. You're just like, okay, I'm going to go straight for the quarterback. But since they're rushing the ball so well in this game, and they're able to establish it, he has to stay disciplined and respect the run game, which ultimately gives Kirk Cousins time to give him one of these. I'm not sure what the heck that was, but he gets it off and turns it into a big gain on a 2-yard pass. Now I'm going to show you the Lions defense side of things. And here's why the Lions can be better, because they are a better team at stopping the run, and it doesn't mean that they have to blitz. They do mix it in, but they don't have to do it. Here's a pulling guard. We saw this one hand just blows it up. They have been good at stopping the run for weeks now. For weeks, they've been good at stopping the run. And that's the difference between them and the Packers. And I think that's why the Lions match up better than the Packers did defensively. And they could have a very good game. Here they hit you again with the play action. Again, you have to respect it. But this is what I'm talking about, the play before. They bring pressure. They're bringing pressure. Everybody is selling out to shut down the run. Watch these secondary players, right? Selling out. They're selling out to stop the run. All of a sudden, oh snap, it's not a handoff. And they're trying to come back now, right? They're trying to get back into the play. Everybody's out of position. You brought 2 guys, and now all of a sudden they're like, it's not a handoff. We got to get back, and you have open guys down the field. So the play action sets up everything. He takes the easy dump off, and it goes for a nice gain. And it's not even a deep pass. It's just something. These cut off kind of quick, but this is the way that some teams just started going at it. They just said, forget the run game. We're just going to go right for the quarterback. As soon as he rolls that play action, we're just going to hit him. And that's one way the Lions could go about this. The edge rusher would just go straight for the quarterback, and it would hit him, and it would hit him, and it would disrupt the play. And you're going to see another example. They both cut off not so well, but you get an unblocked rusher, and again, this time, instead of respecting it and staying and waiting, he just goes directly for the quarterback, and he gets to the quarterback and gets the sack. That's one way to do it. But again, the reason that's a problem is because you're struggling to stop the run early, and you're forced to bring all these bodies in. Here you go again. Look, you're going to see the exact same thing. Watch my guy right here. He pinches in to stop it. Oh, it's not a run play. Now I'm backing up. Okay, now he's just dropping back into his zone coverage. Not even man, it's his zone coverage. So he backs to his zone. If he would stay with the running back, maybe he makes a play there. But he drops back into his zone, and it turns out into a big gain. So it's the play action. I mean, this is not a very complex offense. It's pretty simple. They play off the run, and that's what they did last week, and that's why they won, and that's why they were successful. But what else do they do? Well, a lot of screens. Okay, they're going to do wide receiver screens, and they're going to do running back screens. And this one's honestly an interesting play design. It's blown up by a great defensive play. But again, they hit you with the play action, and everybody's going this way, or everybody's going this way. But it's a great job for this corner to stay disciplined. He's actually going to come down, and he's going to make this play before the ball even gets there, right? He's already knows coming. He's going to split the lineman. He's going to go make that play. We need our cornerbacks to play aggressive in this game. I've watched the team. We'll get to more clips later. Here's the Lions against some wide receiver screens just to see what they look like. It's all about Reggie Ragland here. Ragland does a heck of a job to get out there. Ragland, Jamie Collins, those guys are going to be huge. They first make the play, and then you can see what the cornerbacks do well, which you don't really notice right away, is Okudah does a good job of getting to the outside, forcing the play back inside. You have to force things back inside to the defense. That's what they do. Ragland's there. They're able to make the stop to give him about 4. It's a 3rd and 9. You're at midfield. Again, they're not making him do too much. They're going to rather go with the screen than let him drop back. So they keep it easy. Look, they bring 4. Okay, I'm going to drop off the screen. Drop off the screen. And this is Dalvin Cook being Dalvin Cook. This is what you pay the running back for. This is the difference between a good and a great running back, or an average and a great running back. That's what he does. That's what he brings to the table, and that's why he's so dangerous, because he can make that play go to a touchdown and make all those guys in the secondary miss. How many running backs are going to do that? Not many running backs are going to do that very consistently. You're going to see just a quick little pass out the receiver, and this has to be tackled right here. Boom. Our cornerbacks have been a great job making tackles. Another reason we optimistic Lions can slow them down. Amani, Okudah, Coleman, no matter who's out here, they've done a great job. Here, look at this move. Boom. Get him on the ground. This turns into a first down. Look at this run. That shouldn't have been a first down. Just a quick hitter to the wide receiver. It turns into a first down. Again, another screen here. Not a great pass. This is against the Colts. The Colts do a good job with their front four. So their front four gets there so quick. And they're so long. I mean, look at this. I mean, Kirk Cousins just kind of... Darius Leonard, you can see, is here. Darius Leonard is an absolute beast, man. I keep watching Leonard. He's so good. All right, now here's the play that everyone's talking about. It's the crossing routes. Teams do it all the time now. It's so popular in the NFL right now, and they can hurt you really bad. What you're going to see what the Packers do is they bring a blitz. You bring a blitz against a crossing route when you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, you're in trouble because you can't man everything up. So you're asking this man right here, either a safety, I think it's a safety, to come all the way around the play and try to take away this crossing route. There's no chance there. The way that you beat this is you have to have a linebacker to take it over, right? You have to have a linebacker right here. A linebacker has to drop, hit it, right? Hit him, slow him down, get in front. That way the first look's not there. Hopefully he gets the pressure, and then the cornerback by that time can get back into play. That, or when you bring 6, you have to be able to get there. This offensive line is holding up. They're not able to get there. They brought 6 guys, and no one gets pressure. If you can't get pressure with 6 guys and they run a crossing route, it's over. It's over. There's no way to do it. There's no way to stop this, and that's why this, again, another dink and dunk turns into a huge play. Let's take a look at the Lions versus it. This is the one time they did bad. This is one of their bad times versus the Colts, okay, last week. This is against a crossing route. Here's what goes wrong on this play. Okay, the Lions, they don't bring a blitz. They bring 5. The Lions bring a blitz, which is 5. So that, you could say, is the first mistake, but they bring 5. Then you have Jamie Collins. So you do have one linebacker. Collins needs to get in front of this to at least take away the first look. Because what you're asking right now is you're asking Amani Oruwari, I'm sorry, the thing's still on the screen right there. You're asking basically Amani to take this receiver and follow him across the screen, okay? That's what the defense wants to do. You're asking him to do that. So Collins needs to step in front of this, take that away. He doesn't do that. He just stands there, right? He stands there, and Amani's got to get all the way back. And look, you almost got to him. You almost got to his 5. But it doesn't matter because all he has to do is get it off, and it's a huge gain. Actually turn it into a big gain for the Colts. I don't think it was a touchdown, but it was a big gain. Now, Lions again, same thing, another cross route here. This time it works better. Lions bring 4, so they have a couple of extra linebackers inside. Everybody mans up. Again, you have Okudah chasing it, but this time your linebacker steps up, and he takes it away. Watch him take it away. Takes it away there. Okay, it's not there. Oh, snap. Now you can get back into coverage. The only reason this play worked is because we struggled in coverage here, and Tracy Walker was just beat by the bigger tight end. I don't know why Curse wasn't covering him. Curse wasn't out there, which made no sense to me. But as you can see, the Lions can do it. There's a couple of ways to do it. If you're going to be pressure, you better get there. If you're going to be pressure on crossing route, you better get there, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble. Or you got to drop. Again, back to the passing routes. It's short stuff. They're not going to overdo it for Kirk Cousins. It's short passes. It's things that you can jump on. That's why I said, this is why I'm saying Jamie Collins and Reggie Rayland are going to be the keys in this game. Those are the players to watch because Darius Leonard was huge against the Vikings. Now, to us, that could be J-Ron Curse covering him, so it could be Curse again. I mean, we always talk about Curse, but it could be. Also, they do this a lot. They go under center with no back. Obviously, if you do that, it's not a run. So that's a chance for your front four to potentially get some early push. Here they go with a little comeback. Nothing there. They're not the most efficient passing team when it comes to straight drop pass. And there's no threat of running it. They're not a very good passing team. This time you get a blitz on the inside. No one picks up. He has to go backfield. It's incomplete, right? They're not just a great straight up passing team. And that's why they have to play through the run. And that's why certain teams, when they can't run against them or they're good against run or when Dalvin Cook wasn't there, they looked worse. Here you're just going to get a quick slant. There's no pressure. It's a quick slant, throw it behind him, and it's picked off. Those plays, they're killing. They kill the games, right? They kill the game. And again, if you get behind and you're a team that needs to rely upon that run, you're losing that football game. That's what happened here to the Vikings and in that game against the Colts. And for us, we need to make sure we get ahead and make sure we make them as one-dimensional as possible. We're going to see quick routes, right? Quick slant. You got to play aggressive. Our cornerbacks need to play up and aggressive in this game because we're not going to see a lot of shots. I don't expect a lot of shots. The question is, do you blitz them or do you not blitz them? Personally, I think it's okay to blitz him, mix it in and keep him uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with that. He's not super mobile. But you have to be concerned that their offensive line does a really good job picking up blitzes. If you bring 5, you're not going to get a lot of pressure usually. Everson Griffin's going to be the guy to watch, of course. You know, he's coming back. He's going to play against the Vikings. He's been all over social media. He's hyping up. I'm hyped to see what Griffin can do. He's going to be a beast. If Everson Griffin can go get pressure and he can open up Romeo and Deshaun Hand and these other guys on defense line, all of a sudden we're going to have a really good game. We're going to have a really, really good game here. You see a dump off. You blitz them. You're kind of playing into their hands a little bit because they want to dump it down. That's what they want to do. Kirk Cousins has all day here. Look how well they picked this up, though, right? They bring pressure. There's 5 guys. Look how well they picked this up. Dude, this guy all day. They brought 5 and he has all day. You know, that's what I'm saying. And they dump it down. It ends up being incomplete anyways. Here you're going to see him in the goal line. I think we may have already showed this one. I'm not 100% sure. But here, this is another example. You bring the edge. Again, you have a couple of options here. You can either sit and wait, or you can just go. The best route is usually just go. The Falcons don't wait. Go get him. And it causes an incomplete pass. Just go. You got to be aggressive against this team. So that's what I want to show you in today's video. I'm throwing some picks. We saw the pass behind him. There's a pick that he's throwing against the Falcons zone, which I thought was in here, but I guess it's not. He's throwing some picks. You make him just a traditional passer. You have to shut the run game down. Shut the run game down. Make them one-dimensional. Beat them like the Packers beat us. Get ahead. They're a team that wants to run the ball. Play to our strengths. Everson Griffin getting pressure on 3rd down. Bringing him in with Romeo. Bringing these pass rush packages. Play to our strengths. We need to beat them like the Packers beat us. That's how we need to play this team. And we, on paper, have an opportunity to make a statement. This is a statement game for this defense. To go out there and look really good against this Vikings. Get back to 500. Players to watch in this game. Number 1, Everson Griffin. Of course, it's Everson Griffin. He could go off. He is hyping me up. Number 2, Jamie Collins. And number 3, Reggie Ragland. Those are the 3 players. Now, maybe a little bit of curse depending on who's covering tight ends. Tight ends are going to be big. But that's the way to play it. Play aggressive. Play tight. And shut down the run game. You shut down the run game. You shut down everything else. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching. And I'm out. Are you kidding me right now? I had to put my helmet on for this one. Are you kidding? Look at this. Look at all these members. What? Yo, hey, shout out to all the members, man. Look how many All-Pro members there are. Like, literally, it's the whole screen, dog. This is crazy. The patrons, of course, the Hall of Fame members, man. Y'all got the gold color. It's kind of yellow, but it's supposed to be gold. Shout out to all the members, man. If you want to be a part of this, all you got to do is join the channel. But there are perks that come with it. Stay locked in the community tab if you are a member, because that's where a lot of information comes out. I appreciate all of you. What?